All right, guys, we're back at it with another Mat Chat with Coach Corey. Today, so I wanted to talk about, I think we're sort of past the days where there was sort of this idea that martial arts is for men and that it's not really a female thing. I think we're past that day. But with that said, a lot of times, I mean, we're still influenced. You know, if I do talk to a lot of women, they're a little bit nervous about coming into a gym that traditionally has been doing a sport that's more of a guy thing. And so one of the things I think that's awesome about our gym is we actually have a really solid mix, probably more women in our classes than men, but around that 50-50 mix. But I'd love to get sort of your take on your thoughts around women getting into martial arts. I guess just all things that topic. If there's a girl that came to you and says, I'm thinking about getting martial arts, but that seems like more of a guy thing, what would you say to her?
Definitely. So first thing is, it's not a guy thing, it's an every person thing. There's no gender on being able to defend yourself and feel good and feel confident. I think that's a universal thing. But obviously it can be a little intimidating, especially like if you watch combat sports on TV or with friends. You know, I know a lot of people watch UFC and whatnot. Going to train can seem very intimidating, okay? But honestly, like, it is one of the least intimidating things ever once you meet our people, okay? So everyone at first is very nervous. Oh, I'm gonna meet all these people that are gonna be really rough and tough and violent. And honestly, it's usually the opposite of that. You gotta understand, a lot of people are training to unwind from the day, right? They're trying to get out, trying to do something interesting, meet people. Last thing really on their mind is, I want to go hurt someone. The idea is, no, I want to go learn something. I want to feel some kind of confidence in my body that I know I can keep. And you know, that's guy or girl. That's either. Don't worry, you're not going to get hurt. We will not hurt you, I promise. We're a very friendly group, okay? The idea is this: you're going to be coming in, you're going to learn as much as you can, and you're going to work with everybody, right? In the gym, we have girls work with girls, guys work with guys work with girls. We try to create such an even and healthy environment, right? You can learn from everybody, and that's important. You got to be able to learn from everybody, and just not be freaked out about working with a guy or girl. Just know that you're going to be working with some cool people. Okay? Yeah. Just put that in your mind. I'm going to be working with some cool people. I'm probably going to work with someone that's eventually going to become a friend, you know? Second thing is, do not worry. You're not going to get hurt. I promise. On your first day, I'm not going to throw you in with a big person to try to hurt you. You're going to learn a lot of fundamentals. You know, I'm going to maybe kill your cardio and kill your abs a little bit, but you're going to be learning a lot and you're going to be having fun, okay? I know for the Jiu Jitsu, it can be a little bit more intimidating. I'm sure if you guys, you know, Jiu Jitsu or a ground art, as opposed to Muay Thai, where we're stand up and there's a little bit more space. You know, in Jiu Jitsu, we're on top of each other, under each other, sweating on each other. And I guess the biggest thing to know there is that everybody's being respectful of everybody. There's no weirdness going on in that class. I have a zero tolerance policy, so no one makes anyone else feel uncomfortable. If they do, they're asked to leave immediately. So just like notice that, like, if you come to the jiu-jitsu class, while some of the positions are very up close and in your face, there's no weird intentions behind it. We're just learning how to effectively fight from the ground. So that's something to kind of keep in mind.
Awesome, I like that. And should women spar or train with other women? What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, no, I mean, I think training and sparring with other women is definitely needed. I think you should be training and sparring with everybody, simply for the fact that, like, while all of us train just for fun, and some of us do train to compete, there's a good chunk of us that train for self-defense, and you know, the person that might try to mug you, rob you, steal from you, hurt you, could be a guy. So you want to know how that feeling is of actually hitting and getting hit by a guy in at least a safe manner, where you know nothing bad's actually going to happen to you.
Yeah. And let's say a girl is like, you know, I want, like, if I get attacked on the street, I'm not worried about someone that's also 100 pounds. I'm worried about the guy that's 200 pounds. Yeah. And so I want to spar against, like, Derek or Ali, some of our bigger guys. But then it's like, but I also don't want to get my face caved in and with big guys. what are your thoughts about, like, should a girl, hey, hey Derek, can I spar with you? What's she going to expect if he says yes?
Yeah.
Like, is she going to basically walk out of here with a face splatter?
Yeah.
What are your thoughts there?
So there's definitely a kind of a decorum around sparring. Now, I'm an experienced fighter. So if I go with another either experienced fighter or another big heavy guy, I can go a little bit harder on them because I know they're looking for that kind of pressure and they're expecting that kind of pressure. But let's say I have a smaller female that's looking to spar, especially one of these bigger guys. The bigger guys are never going to go 100% on you. I promise you that. They're gonna give you pressure. They might make you feel a little uncomfortable. They might punch you in the face. They might kick you in the leg. But at the end of the day, they're not going to hurt you. They want to give you pressure to teach you how to deal with someone that's going to do that for real. That way, if God forbid it does happen, you almost can go to this fight or flight response in your head like, I've sparred a 200-pound person. I've sparred a 185-pound person. I know what to do. I know if I can hit them and get away, then I'm going to be okay. So yes, you can spar with those guys. They're going to give you a good scrap, but they'll never ever hurt you, knock you out. That will never happen in any of our classes.
Awesome. Yeah, I'll say, like, one thing that I feel like the guys that tend to walk through our doors, the guys that we tend to attract, are definitely the type that they take pride in helping
Yes.
other people. And if they were to ever hurt a female, I think they would feel ashamed. Like,
Yes.
I think if they ever pushed a girl when she didn't want to be, I don't think that they would feel bad.
We all, I feel like, especially the guys at the gym, we all have amazing partners and mothers and sisters. And last thing we ever want to do is for them to get hurt or feel uncomfortable in a situation. So I think a lot of us, we look out for our women students like we look out for our sisters. We want to make sure they're okay and that they're having a fun time, but that they're feeling good about it.
Yeah. And that's one of the things I love about our gym is my wife, we got an 8-month-old, so she's never here anymore, but, we met through training, and I love that I never have to worry about who she's sparring with. She'll spar with Ali, this giant of a guy that we have that's really good, and I never have to worry that, like, she's going to go home, like, hurt or even ego bruised. Like, he's gonna let her work stuff too.
Yeah.
And stuff.
It's funny, like, actually in my Muay Thai class, for example, like, two of the most feared sparrers are women in my class. The guys fear them. It's just a thing. But again, like, it's all about having fun and learning. Like, we look forward to sparring with them because we know they're going to bring such an intensity that's rare to find. That's awesome. Again, it doesn't matter, if you're big, small, or whatever. Just get in there and train. The more people you train with, the better you'll be, and the more situations you'll be able to adapt to.
I do notice, like, sparring class is usually the class where I hear giggling constantly.
Yeah, we have fun.
Our Saturday morning sparring class, it's just a giggle fest.
Yeah, this stuff's fun. Like, I always hear you refer to sparring as this, and I love it. It's the game of sparring, right? Like, the game of sparring. It has such a playful, like, feel. It's just fun. Like, can I hit my partner in the leg? Can I punch them in the face? And again, not hurting them, but can I get to those positions on them without getting hit? That's the fun part. Then you get to see how far your skills have actually come.
Awesome. And maybe a couple other questions. One, what's the practical value of a female taking martial arts? So let's say a girl goes, well, yeah, I'm learning all these techniques, but if I really got attacked by a person twice my size, am I really going to be able to defeat them? What would you say to someone that's wondering, is this actually effective for someone dealing with someone twice their size?
Absolutely. You just have to know how to apply it. Okay, like, obviously, like, in a self-defense situation, guys, it shouldn't look like a cage fight. It shouldn't look like a combat sports match, right? Like, you're doing these things, you're kicking them in the groin, in the knee. If you get knocked down, you're kicking them in the groin, trying to sweep them over, get on top. Hopefully trying to break their arm or choke them unconscious, or just run away. But absolutely, I've had female students before of mine that have said, like, I had to use this on a guy that tried to hurt me when I was out this weekend. So this stuff works. It's just about being consistent and being able to get that muscle memory going with it.
Nice.
Yeah.
And a couple things, like with Jiu Jitsu, I know, like Liz, some of our girls, they're small, but it's like they can fit their arm around your throat like a little vice, whereas like my bigger arms, like I gotta deal with someone's chin. Like in some ways there's attributes about these girls being small that makes them able to get into techniques, get into moves, like in some ways it benefits them, it feels like.
Definitely. It was built for, Jiu Jitsu was built for small people, so it just benefits anyone that is small.
And from the striking point of view, one of the coaches I had, one of my favorite things he would say is like, you're not trying to, if it's a self-defense situation, you're not necessarily trying to beat the other person like you would if we were like doing a competition, there's a certain amount of rounds. You're just trying to let the person know that you're not a victim, you're an opponent.
Yeah.
And that's the people that are trying to attack someone smaller than them are probably not trying to find someone that matches up well.
No, they want to go for the weakest link that cannot defend themselves. So if you throw any kind of adversity their way, there's a good chance they might just run.
Yeah. Awesome. I had one more question I wanted to ask. Yeah. So does a woman have to, I know every once in a while I'll get a female that's almost like, well, I don't want to work with a guy, or I don't want to work with someone advanced because I'm just going to hold them back. I don't know. What would you say to someone?
No, we learn from everybody. That's the big thing is, you can learn from a newbie. You can learn, something interesting they could do by mistake. The advanced people, when they get to work with someone that's new, all that does for them is it teaches them how to reinforce their fundamentals. So it's not a bad thing. Don't ever feel like you're slowing anyone down. Just feel like you're getting more experienced eyes on your technique.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. Hopefully any ladies that are considering getting into martial arts but just a little bit nervous about what they're getting themselves into, come in, try out a class, definitely, if you're not already a member, and if you are a member but you're thinking like, oh, I don't know about this class or that class, come try it. It's here for you. So bye.